Good evening. The time being 7 p.m., I'd like to call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Smith? Here. Councilmember Gilbert?
Here.
Councilmember Patassi?
Here.
Councilmember Kettering?
Here.
And Mayor Barrios?
Here, please note all 5 of us are here this evening. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the invocation provided by Clifton Curry of Mountain View Church.
Lord, we are grateful for this community of Oakdale. We're grateful for the people that serve. I could think of a lot of things I'd rather do on a cold, wet night, but they're here serving us, hopefully making plans that better our community. And so we pray for wisdom and guidance and protection. Thank you for those that serve us in protecting us, that try to make wise decisions. Lord, we just pray for this time together, that it would be peaceful, and that we could, again, just see Oakdale prosper and have your blessing. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you. All right, so at this time, I would like to call up Jane to the mic. Good evening, Jane. I'm going to go ahead and let you talk for a little bit and give us your spiel, and then we're going to recognize you.
Wow. Colleen, will you set the timer for 12 and a half minutes?
Yes.
Absolutely.
The other day at the holiday party, she's like, oh, Colleen's not here to set the timer for me to talk.
So I talked endlessly, and it was all your fault.
Oh.
All right, well, good evening, Mayor.
It's because the Raider game's on right now, and you're a Packer fan. That's what's happening.
The Packers won, so it's all good. All right, so this appears to be a safe distance. Yeah. Although now I can't see my notes because I didn't bring my glasses. All right, so if you don't know, I am retiring after only 7 years with the city. I am not going to cry. Time has gone very quickly. I say all the time that I have the best job in the city of Oakdale. If you don't know me, I started out as a recreation coordinator, managing the senior center, the pool, special events. For whatever reason, Brian thought, hey, I bet she could handle facilities too. And so about 2 years ago, I became the supervisor for recreation. Facilities folded into that, which included the rentals and the custodians, all kinds of fabulous things. I remember my first day. I met with Albert, and I said, do you want to meet weekly, monthly? No, just come in when you need something, which worked perfectly for my style. And I want you to know that Albert has been so supportive. Anything I need, as long as it's in the budget. Yeah. He has provided. During the pandemic, the senior center was closed for 18 months, and so I started doing Zoom classes with seniors on my little tiny cell phone, and I mentioned that to Albert one day, like, whew, that is not easy. A couple of days later, Albert showed up with a laptop, and so we did, and I'm sure it was in the budget, and so we did Zoom classes for seniors with a laptop, and so Albert, thank you. Thank you for supporting me, leaving me alone to do my job. That was pretty fantastic. Brian, you were always there, whether it was text message, email, showing up at your office unannounced. I truly appreciate all of your support and backup, especially when there was a senior very angry with me. You provided the support that I needed and occasionally jumped in to run interference if needed. So thank you for that. Stop that, Jane. Again, best job in the city. I got to work with teenagers during the summer as we hired lifeguards. And I took that job very seriously because they were 16, 17 years old. For most of them, it was their first job. And I wanted to make sure that they learned how to have a job and what a good job and a good boss would look like. And so I hope I modeled that at least 90% of the time. I love doing the special events and the rentals because I got to meet so many community members, and it was really wonderful doing that outreach and seeing what a close-knit, wonderful community that Oakdale is. But of course, my heart is with the senior center. And all of those seniors, I remember getting very close with a senior, and he passed, and it was probably one of the hardest days ever in my work life. My seniors are my family, and I will miss almost all of them. I will miss them all. I've already started getting Facebook friend requests from them, so that'll be fun.
Great.
Darn it for teaching them how to use iPads and Facebook. Came back to bite me, didn't it? But so good. I am only leaving because of my daughter. You can blame her if you're sad that I'm going, because she gave birth to two of the most amazing little human beings you have ever seen. I brought a photo. Who could not want to go back home to this, right? Here, back in the back.
For the people at home, right?
Yeah. So Walker is 3, Magnolia is 8 months, and they have my entire heart. And so I'm going home to watch them grow up, spoil them, make my daughter angry because I'm spoiling them. But that is my plan. What I'm leaving you with, though, and what I think I did best for the city, what my best skill is, and I promise I'm wrapping up, what I did best is recognize and develop and support talent. I'm leaving you with 2 amazing people sitting back there. And this is actually in my notes, guys. I'm not winging this. Tim and Alana. Hiring them was I hope is my legacy, because they are amazing. You can teach people skills, how to do a job. You can't teach work ethic and passion and kindness and teamwork. I hope that I've modeled that for both of them. Yes, okay, I got thumbs up. And so Tim will be doing the facilities part. Alana has the recreation. They are amazing. It will be Jane who, in just a couple of months.
I don't think so.
Well, and I'll keep in touch. But again, thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for 7 amazing years. I will miss you all, but I'll send Alana and Tim so many photos that they can share until they block my number. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jen. Well, I just want to personally thank you for always being kind and very patient, especially trying to teach me some stuff on the iPad. Very patient and just always being there. Anytime we've needed anything, we text you, call you, and I don't know what you say on the other end, but you make it happen. And our senior center is the best, and I've heard that from many seniors and family members. We have the best senior center, and I attribute that to you, and of course, your crew over there, Alana and Tim. So thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your dedication to the city of Oakdale, and especially to our seniors, most of them. And just want to say we wish you all the best, and have fun with your hubby and your grandkids and the Green Bay Packers, and we will definitely see you on Facebook. So we appreciate you very much. Thank you, Jane.
And if I could just add to that, Jane, thank you. Albert and I have really appreciated all the great work that you've done at the Senior Center in particular. I know it doesn't just go there, but I know how important the Senior Center is for our community. Our seniors love being there. It's very valuable to them. They're proud that they get to go there, and you've been able to put on fabulous programs. You've been able to help foster relationships, bridge gaps. I think it's amazing the ability that you and your team have had to help teach the valuable skills of technology, to help connect some of our seniors with so many resources that they would not have otherwise been able to get in touch, if not for your efforts to bring in the grants and to get them the iPads. And that's just one of many things that you've been able to do. But it's just been an honor and a privilege to work with you and to learn from you. And I just can't help but wish you and your family and your beautiful grandchildren the best going forward. So congratulations.
Would anyone else like to say
Just wait a darn
anything?
minute, don't stand up yet.
Would anyone else like to say something to Jane?
First off, you still owe me $3. I want to apologize for taking like 3 years to get your name pronounced correctly. 'Cause it's
Say it.
Jane. But you know what I'm going to say. I think is because I've worked with you, next to you, all of those meals and all of those volunteers. Alana has already, brought me into that loop, and I wouldn't do it if I didn't enjoy it. And I enjoy it because the seniors enjoy it, and the seniors enjoy it because of what you put together for them. And that's a big thing. I mean, you could just click the right buttons on a piece of paper and make it happen, or you could be involved and do all of the extra levels of care for the seniors that you did for them. And that's what they feel when they are in that center. And it's nice to be able to walk into that room and know what people think and how happy they are to be cared by the three of you. And that's a big pin to have on your shoulder as you walk through life. They knew how much you cared for them, or they know how much you care for them. And I do too. I want to say thank you for doing that for our seniors. I mean, you're an awesome person. You really are. Thank you.
Anyone else?
It takes someone who is very patient and compassionate to work with our senior community, and you and Alana demonstrate that every single day. And I really appreciate everything that you've done in the last 7 years, Jane. You are just an incredible woman, and I really look up to you for all that you've done for our community. Thank you so much.
All right.
Yeah, that's enough.
All right, here we go. Is that your 3 minutes are up? Is that?
You went way over the 12 you requested.
Way over the top.
Come on in.
I know. And thanks for all those dishes that you did. Hug first? Okay.
Always.
Always. All right.
Ready?
We're gonna do like the
Whatever you want to do.
prom photo
Whatever, Brian.
pose,
All
or-
right. Want to get in the middle?
We'll go like this. All right.
Cheese. Jane.
Now, hold on a second. Alana, Tim, can you come up here?
Teamwork.
Team, absolutely.
What about your husband?
It's
What
about
about your
team.
husband?
Yeah, can we say Packers?
Yeah, Packers, yeah.
Go Pack, go.
Yeah.
Come on, honey, go
You want him
Pack,
here?
go. No, he's too tall. Go Pack, go. Like Jordan Love, but that's all right.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Where are you moving back to?
Wisconsin.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. All right. All right, now is the time for public comment. Anyone wishing to provide public comment, please step up to the mic and you will have 3 minutes. State your name. Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
Nervous.
That's okay. That's okay. Don't worry
Pull
about
that-
it.
And I think alone. I was hoping to have others here for
Can you
support.
pull that microphone down to
Oh,
the
I'm
level?
sorry.
That's all right.
This is my first time.
That's okay. We're here to help you.
Thank you. I
Yes.
appreciate that. Is that good now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening. My name is Jeannie McDaniel. I live here in Oakdale. I own a home. I've moved here, let me find my notes. I'm really nervous right now.
Take your time.
I moved here 21 years ago almost from Modesto, where I was raised. And I own a rescue dog and a rescue kitty, whom I love very much. I'm here tonight to talk about the homeless animal crisis in our community. It's not just a moral issue. It's not just an I love animals and I feel sorry for them issue. It's also a community safety issue, and it's a community safety problem. And it's out of control. I have talked to so many people. I walk my dog every day. And I talk to people on the streets. I talk to my neighbors. I talk to my friends. And they're all concerned. They're all concerned about everything. And they're all complaining, and we're all complaining about it. But complaining doesn't get anything done, and it doesn't get anything accomplished. And so I wanted to come and talk about it because I feel that it's a problem. I didn't even write it all down because I just felt like maybe nobody cared. You know, it's just, and I'm standing here alone thinking I had people that were coming to support me, and I don't think they're here. So I do feel alone. I don't want to be here. I'm not a public speaker. I hate this. I hate this. I can't wait till it's over and I can go home and worry about everything I said and didn't say. I've been nervous about it all day. I've been afraid I would cry. I've been afraid I would yell. I've been afraid I would cuss. I don't want to do any of those things. All I want to do is ask for your help. Please. I just want to ask for your help. We need the resources to get this community problem under control. And we're a small town. We're not Modesto with 200, I don't even know what the population is there, but we don't have the population. We can do it here. Am I out of time already?
So Jeannie, is this something that has ever been called into the police department, or is this a certain area that you're talking about?
I've called a number of times.
Is it a specific colony that you're talking about?
I can tell you all kinds of things. I can tell you how afraid I've been to walk my dog because of all the off-leash dogs on the streets, because people are dumping their dogs, since COVID especially. During COVID, when people were home, they took in dogs.
And what area is this happening in? Because I walk miles. I walk dozens of miles. I've never been.
I live on River Bluff. It happens in my neighborhood. I walk through Birchall Hill. I walk a lot. I love my dog.
And when it happens, do you call animal control or the police department?
One of the things that sticks with me is the day it was around 4th of July. It was not 4th of July, and there were illegal fireworks that sound like bombs going off. I was in my car. I wasn't walking. I was in my car, and the dog was going on Valley View, and I was coming back to my home, and I saw this beautiful dog, and I thought it had just escaped. I couldn't hear the fireworks because I had music blaring in my car, and I thought, oh, I'm one of those that always pulls over. I gotta save him, right? I gotta find the owner, I gotta do it, you know? So I pulled over to help the dog, and that's when I started hearing the illegal fireworks. And she was panting and scared, and bless her heart, the dog didn't run away from me, which is often the case, you know, they're so panicked. She was panting really hard. And I called the non-emergency number, and I was told no one was available. We're sorry. There's no one to come. I didn't have a leash with me. I was in my car. I now keep a leash in my car at all times. And I had that dog. And I had to let her go.
Are you on social media?
Am I on social media? I posted my concerns on the Nextdoor neighborhood app, asking people to come and support me tonight.
Are you on Facebook?
I'm not on,
Because
technically I have a Facebook account, but I don't do Facebook.
I'm bringing this up specifically to tell you that
Pardon?
Lost and found animals in Oakdale are posted on Facebook much more than they are on the Nextdoor app. So people are looking for animals on Facebook, on the Oakdale Lost and Found page. People are posting that I've lost my dog on Facebook, on the Oakdale Lost and Found page. So that might be a better avenue for you to address the
I'm not so
situation.
much concerned about the lost dogs. I'm concerned about animals in general, always.
And what is your?
I'm concerned about the dumping. Are any of you on the Nextdoor Neighborhood app? Have you looked on there? Have you seen what's going on? Just yesterday, after I started this conversation 5 days ago, 6 days ago, there were 6 puppies that were assumed to be dumped in the country.
I was on social media as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are pregnant dogs. There was a mother dog that was dumped. I believe she had 11 puppies
Do you have a?
that had no home.
Do you have a proposed solution for the council? Do you have?
We need more shelter space.
Okay.
We need people to be able to get their animals in to be spayed and neutered. That is a huge problem, is people not spaying and neutering their pets, whether it's cats or dogs. I have a rescue cat and a rescue dog. I don't know if I
So
told
do
you.
I. So
I'm
do I.
not,
One of each.
I love all animals. But some of the people that are in rescues have shared with me that, you know, part of the problem is people get a pet and then they can't get in for months to get their animals spayed or neutered because of the backlog. It's
So
just,
Chief, do you have any advice for Ms. McDaniels? Or should we get her a number and maybe you set a time to talk with her, or maybe the? Do you want to go ahead and leave your number with Colleen, and the chief will give you a call, or one of his team members can reach out to you? If you want to go ahead and leave it with Colleen, we'll be happy to get somebody to call you.
Because
Talk to
Jeannie,
you more about the issue.
excuse me for
Yeah.
interrupting. I don't know if you were aware, about 8-9 months ago, the Animal Shelter Subcommittee, was that a year ago?
the animal
we
shelter, what? I'm sorry.
Subcommittee, we put a subcommittee together to address these very topics.
You did?
And s- And we made great progress with it, actually.
What progress is being made?
Well, that's a,
So, would you mind if I
no, go ahead.
kind of chimed in? Coincidentally, later in the meeting, we were going to talk about some of the efforts that Animal Control, through the police department, is working on, joining partnerships with the Astro Foundation and Best Friends Animal Society to do exactly what you're talking about, from neuter and vaccination and that type of thing. So we recognize that there's a variety of things that we need to work on, and we're committed to working forward to try to do those steps. And I'm sorry you've had to endure, some of the things that you've had to endure. And I appreciate you coming and sharing your thoughts with us. And if you don't mind sharing your number with Colleen, and we'll have either the chief or a member of the police department to give you a call and kind of learn more about the situation.
Are you familiar, Jeannie, with Astro Foundation?
Yes, I actually was volunteering with them until I
Okay.
got ill in August, and then
Okay.
I had to stop.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Why don't you go
yeah.
ahead and give Colleen your number?
I wanted to share a real quick story. I went out to the Oakdale Animal Shelter not too long ago. Part of what's been fueling all this emotion that I have is I've been looking for another dog, because my dog is a senior now. And I went out and met this wonderful, sweet dog at the shelter. And the officer there was very nice and welcoming, and I took my dog out to meet this dog. And when they took the dog in, it was dumped on the street, they assumed. Nobody claimed it, wasn't chipped. Nobody claimed it. And it was thin. Then it gained weight while it was in the shelter. And then, because of the stress of being in the shelter, he was losing weight. And that's another thing, is that these dogs are sitting in the shelter, and a shelter is not a good place for an animal. Dogs do grieve. When my other dog died, I watched my dog grieve. I couldn't even grieve because I felt so bad for my dog. I had to be there for my dog while she grieved. My dog, I had her put down at my home, which was fabulous. Not fabulous, but at least she was home, and my dog got to be there with her. But they do grieve and they feel, and I don't know. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, if you please.
I just
leave
hope
your-
that you'll help.
Thank you for letting us know, and thank you for coming here. Please leave your information. And then, like our city manager said, later on in the agenda, we will be discussing part of this stuff. So you're welcome to stay and listen to that as well. All right, anyone else for public comment? Come on up. Please state your name, and you'll have 3 minutes.
That was good timing. Thank you for the segue. I'm Jadine Vicente. I'm the founder and president of Astro Foundation, Jeannie, and we actually are doing quite a bit to address, at the very least, the community cat problem. We are currently actually working with the City of Oakdale Animal Control on a community cat management program. So just to give you a little high-level overview about what a community cat program looks like, I'll try to keep it to 3 minutes. Good cat colonies make good neighbors. The goal is to create a harmonious relationship between community cats and the people and businesses around them. In well-managed colonies, cats are like a good roommate, right? They're quiet, seldom seen, and without annoying habits. The only way to achieve this, though, is through TNR, which is trap, neuter, return, and responsible colony management. Why do TNR? Unsterilized colonies present a host of animal welfare concerns, including high cat and kitten mortality, cats getting hit by cars, yowling, fighting, and spraying, which are often behaviors that accompany mating. So sterilization dramatically reduces many of these issues while ultimately reducing the cat population. Just trapping and removing cats and killing them doesn't work. It creates what's called a vacuum effect. If cats are removed from their outdoor home, it creates a territorial opening or vacuum that will not remain empty. Just removing cats from an area might cause a temporary decrease in the cat population, but more cats will take their place, and it doesn't take long. So that's just an expensive, deadly cycle, which really doesn't yield positive long-term results and does create ill will in the community. So trap and neuter release is really the only way to humanely stabilize these cat populations and get them under control permanently. And then it's also just important to have colony cat caretakers. We started doing this over the past year with the support of City of Oakdale Animal Control at the Costless Shopping Center here in town, and we have trapped and spayed-neutered over 50 feral cats, which is huge. We've also been able to find, through that process, a lot of fairly tame kittens and cats that have been dumped that we were able to then take and rehome through Astro Foundation and just get them out of there entirely. And it's important to have a colony caretaker on site to be able to feed them and manage them daily to do this, because if you don't have someone there every day, then you don't know when a new cat or kitten has been dumped, or, oh, there's one that doesn't have an ear tip that needs to be fixed. So having people on site every day to feed in a responsible manner is super important, so that way we can spot the newcomers and just keep a handle on it. So it's like having an apartment manager, but for cats. But anyway, so I just did want to assure you, there you are, people do care, and we are doing a lot to address the situation. Oftentimes get puppies dumped right in our little front yard too, and you know, it's just, there's my 3 minutes. My husband is going to want one of these. If he
I love that.
Thank you.
Jadine.
Jadine, no,
Yeah.
you've been doing this for years, and I don't think there's a proper amount of thank yous to throw your way for the amount that you do.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, it takes it takes a village. We have a
Yeah.
lot of really, really wonderful volunteers, support from the City of Oakdale and Oakdale Animal Control, support from the community, some good employees too. So it takes a village.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, anyone else for public comment? Come on up. Please state your name. Hello.
My name's Mary Brown,
Come on up to the,
and,
you'll state your name right here, ma'am.
okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, my name's Mary Brown, and I came up here to support you. And my issue, I mean, I agree with what the others have said, but what really bothers me is there seems to be this subculture here, not just in Oakdale, but in probably the entire Central Valley, it's okay to trap cats and dump them. And they don't care, it could be your neighbor's cat or whatever, they just take them out and they dump them here in the city parks, and they also take them out. You have probably heard about Fox Grove you may have seen the horrible pictures on Nextdoor. The problems with dumping cats, people missing their cats, is so rife on Nextdoor that I'm about ready to quit. I can handle it. And I don't know how this could be addressed other than some sort of public outreach or public education. It is not okay to trap an animal and take it out and dump it out at Lake Don Pedro or Fox Grove or City Park or wherever. This seems to be a go-to solution for many people. It's like a subculture here. And I don't know, I wish I could say I have an answer for you, but I don't know. But I guess one of the best way, spay and neuter, and there needs to be an outreach on that, and it needs to be timely and affordable. Because the amount of animals that are just being dumped, you know, especially kittens and puppies, is people just have them, they don't get their pets spayed, and then before they know it, the puppies and the kittens are breeding, and I see this on Nextdoor all the time, and I don't know what I could do except come here and tell you about it. If you're not on Nextdoor, I realize maybe you don't have enough time, but it's bad. Okay, I won't say any more. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
All right, anyone else for public comment? Public comment is now closed. All right, City Council consent agenda. Would a council member like to pull an item to discuss? If not, this is an action item.
I don't need to pull anything. I'd just like to point out that the Don Osborne Memorial Run, the annual run, is February 1st of next year. And I motion to move the consent agenda forward.
I second that
We have a
motion.
first and a second. Roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Gilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Patassi,
Yes.
Councilmember Kettering,
Yes.
and Mayor Barrios.
Yes, this item passes 5-0. Thank you, Colleen. All right, next up, staff reports of the City Council. Consider a resolution authorizing the City of Oakdale Animal Services to enter into a memorandum of understanding with Best Friends Animal Society and Astro Foundation for our community cat program.
Council members, Mayor, thank you for having me here today. This is going to be a presentation on establishing.
You'll pull that mic up.
Apologize.
Thumb drive.
Oh. Sorry for the technical difficulties. This is a presentation on establishing a MOU between Best Friends Animal Society, Astro Foundation, and the Oakdale Animal Services. This is in regards to establishing a community cat program through a grant through Best Friends. This initiative is expected to improve the survival rate, reduce the burden on the shelter, and create a sustainable pathway for cat management in Oakdale and the contracted cities. Best Friends Animal Society has committed a $50,000 grant to support this program. This will be used to train staff, provide resources, and develop strategies to implement the project. The Community Cat Program will focus on several areas. It's going to be sterilization, vaccination, and also providing felines with their shots, ear-tipping them, and then returning them back to their community. The program will also allow for both sheltered, what they call SNVR and TNVR, services for the City of Oakdale and the contracted cities. The public outreach is the important part. Best Friends will provide materials such as door hangers and flyers and educate the public on the community cat program, to include also nuisance mitigation and how to be a responsible pet owner. Responsibilities and roles. Best Friends Animal Society will provide the grant of $50,000, and this will also include in-person or virtual training, marketing resources, and they'll also hold a monthly meeting to address any challenges. Astro Foundation will obviously be doing the majority of it. They'll administer the cat community program, ensuring the cats receive the necessary vaccinations and care, and facilitate the intake diversion of healthy outdoor cats. The City of Oakdale Animal Shelter, we will support the community cat program by allowing Astro Foundation to access impounded cats, ensuring the program's eligibility cats are not being tested unnecessarily, and updating any relevant policies in regards to the program. The expected outcomes, we hope to improve our feline survival rate and narrow the life-saving gap for cats in Oakdale. In our contract to cities, reduce the intake of stray cats to the shelter, creating a more efficient use of shelter resources and a humane approach to population control. The strengthened partnership between the City of Oakdale, Astro, and Best Friends should enable us to have a more efficient operation and reduce resource sharing for the benefit of the community. There is no anticipated fiscal impact. This grant will be $50,000. It should cover all operational costs, trainings, and marketing expenses. The staff recommends that the City Council adopt this resolution, entering into a MOU between Astro, Best Friends, and the City of Oakdale Animal Services. You have any questions?
Thank you. Any questions from the public? All right, council?
This is great. Is there a representative from the, not Astro, we know Astro's here, but Best Friends here?
No, they're actually based out of Utah,
Oh, okay.
but they're a nation, their goal is, they call themselves a no-kill nation. Their goal is to try to help municipalities across the country reduce their euthanasia rates of cats and dogs.
So is it you and your organization that reached out and got this grant?
We got the ball rolling, yeah.
Thank you.
But the City of Oakdale's been very instrumental. City of Oakdale Animal Control's been very instrumental in pursuing it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions for council? Yes.
Does this address the dumping of dogs and the homeless dog problem that we're having?
This
And the
grant is
safety
for
issue?
the community cat program.
It's strictly cat?
Yes.
I thought I saw it.
All right.
I can't imagine saying no to this. I'm definitely, this is a yes or 11.1.
I second that motion for 11.1.
First and second, roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Gilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Patassi,
Yes.
Councilmember Kettering,
Yes.
and Mayor Barrios.
Yes, passes 5-0. Thank you for getting that grant. Yes.
Take just a short break to ask the chief. I wrote him a question. He answered the question. Can you address this on the mic for everybody?
So do you want to ask the question? Do you want to ask the question?
The question is the act of trapping your neighbor's animal illegal?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
But you cannot dump the animal. That is illegal. And we will arrest if we establish probable cause for illegal dumping of any animal.
So the dumping
The
portion.
the dumping part is the illegal portion.
Okay.
So if somebody traps a cat, it's probably going to be a neighbor's cat or it's going to be a feral cat. They'll bring it to us and we'll be able to establish. That's why microchipping is so important. If people microchip their cats and it's trapped and brought to us, we do everything that we possibly can to get it back to its owner. Microchip your cats.
So dumping it, I mean, if people don't know already, maybe we put something in the water bill that says dumping is illegal. I mean, it should be common sense. But if the word's not getting out, these door hangers that we're talking about, because we hear it all the time. I mean, my cat was dumped somewhere. Thank you, Chief.
All right, 11.2. Good evening, Jeff.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the City Council. I bring to you 11.2. Consider a resolution authorizing the purchase of one utility truck from Halen Ford in the amount of $71,509.83 from the Water Capital Replacement Fund 644, and one utility truck from Steve Chevrolet in the amount of $71,730.90 from the Sewer Capital Replacement Fund 621, and authorize a surplus of a 1998 Chevrolet. Let's talk trucks today. Thought we'd talk a little bit about some trucks. Kind of wanted to give you guys a little bit of a background. Maybe you guys don't know how many trucks we have or how many staff we have, so, you know, purchasing trucks for them, I kind of wanted to outline that. These right here, you'll look at them, you'll see those running around town. Those are called light-duty trucks. And if you see those, they'll have an L number, like an L24 or whatever. And that's just a light-duty truck. I bring that to your attention to let you know that in Public Works, there's the supervisor will drive those, a couple of park guys will clean trash with them, and there's about 4 of those in Public Works that we use. These are the trucks that we call a utility truck. We designate them with an H for heavy duty, so you'll see H24 or whatever on them. These trucks are used by the maintenance personnel for any and all jobs from large to small. Parts and tools are kept on these trucks to save time and money. I wanted to give you a little snapshot that, you know, there's some stuff in our toolboxes. We're not just, they're ready to go. So the City of Oakdale has several divisions. For the sake of this presentation, I'll just focus on the water, the streets and sewer, and the parks. So I just wanted to give you a quick snapshot. Water has 5 employees with 4 utility trucks. The streets and sewer division has 10 employees with 4 utility trucks. And the parks division has 15 employees with 7 utility trucks. So I just wanted to give you a perspective. It's not like we have not every person has a truck, and water, they almost do, because one guy goes and does a lot of stuff. Streets and sewer, sometimes they'll team up. They're doing paving or lifting heavy stuff, so there'll be more guys in a truck. In parks, those guys are just they do a bunch of everything, so they have a hodgepodge of trucks too. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a background snapshot so I could show you what the need is. This is an example of the 2 trucks that we'll be purchasing from Steve Chevrolet and from Halen Ford. Staff received 3 bids. They were as follows. Halen Ford came in at $68,509.83. Steve Chevrolet was $68,730.90. And Morgan Hill Dodge was off the chart. So anyhow, Halen Ford and Steve's were the lowest bidder. This bid also includes, if you notice, I asked in the consider resolution for $71,000. There's also $3,000 put in for each one of these trucks to outfit it, to put the lights on it, to get the bed liners and the equipment that makes them safe, the strobe lights and everything that makes us seen in the public's eye. The fiscal impact here, this year's budget includes $180,000 for the purchase of the 2 trucks. There is no impact to the general fund. And I just wanted to also take the opportunity to introduce to a couple new council members. You probably already know him. He's well known around Oakdale. But Stan Milam is our fleet supervisor and facilities for public works supervisor. He came just to support. He wants to be able to be part of these types of presentations, telling council what's going on. He takes a hands-on approach with every vehicle we have. He's the one that, he's checking the cops' cars. He's the one doing all the work on them, so he has a vested interest in it. So I also brought him if you had any questions about the fleet. If I cause questions to come up, please feel free to ask him.
Thank you.
This is the 1998 Chevrolet 2500 that we're asking to surplus. It has 99,178 miles on it. It's 26 years old. And we got our money out of that truck, I promise.
Does it still run?
Barely. Yeah, it'll drive off. Will it?
It's drivable, but it's to the point now where it's having issues that we can't repair without dumping quite a bit of money into some smog-related issues and things like that.
I feel like you're calling me old, Jeff.
I'm sorry?
You're calling me old. That was the year I was born.
Well, when you get 990,000 miles on you, you might be old too. So staff recommends that the City Council adopt a resolution authorizing the city manager to purchase the truck from Steve Chevrolet and from Halen Ford from Fund 644 and 621. Is there any questions?
Any questions from the public for Jeff? Any questions from council?
I do. What are you gonna get when you surplus that? What will you get when you surplus that old Kaylee Gilbert aged?
This will be a question for Stan.
So what we do with those, Councilmember Smith, is on a truck that's that old, we can't get it to pass smog. Basically, it would have to have pretty much a new computer, a bunch of other components put into this truck to be able to pass smog. So a lot of times what we'll do is we'll take them to the recycler because we can't legally sell them.
My question is simple. Why don't we just keep it and have it as a spare vehicle?
Well, the issue with this particular truck is we have put a lot of money into it to try to keep it in maintenance, and it seems like every time we turn around, there's more. It's becoming a money pit for us. So what?
Is this a comment?
No, this is not for Kaylee. Once we get to that point with the trucks,
Oh, if it's gonna cost us more to keep it than it is to just throw it away, then I understand that. Okay.
And we've kind of, with Chief and, the other departments, we've kind of taken that vision throughout our fleet. We're trying to get everything up to date, where we have reliable vehicles. We're not worried about a guy breaking down out in the field or in one of our parks.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Yeah. Do you think these 2 trucks is sufficient for what you guys need right now, or is there?
I would say that, we're probably gonna look at we're actually working on that right now with the supervisor, sitting down to look at the needs of the Public Works Department. We'll be bringing dump trucks to you in the future because those things are cycling out on the tier, the California emissions, they're cycling out, so we have to get rid of perfectly good running trucks because they don't meet the standard. And it's very frustrating, but we don't take it lightly. Stan has been doing this job for 3 or 4 years now, and he's worked on the truck we're talking about surplusing way too much. And when he's working on that truck, he's not taking care, and I don't want to act like that truck's not important, but it's nowhere near as important as the time needs to be spent on a police car, making, doing brake checks and stuff. So when we get to something it's just not worth having around, it's more of a liability than an asset. That's why we're not taking it lightly to get rid of them. So the needs for trucks will be assessed again next year's budget. We're gonna look at what we're gonna need, and we'll come up with a plan. It may be a utility truck, it may be a flatbed, it could be dump trucks, but for right now, this will keep us rolling and keep us able to service all the areas we have.
So you have a fund of $180,000. My simple math just says you've got $37,000 left over. That rolls into next year?
Yes.
Or does that get sliced off and put somewhere else?
Yeah, so as part of our kind of renewal and replacement program, we have separate funds specifically for capital replacement, and so those will stay where they need, so we can, when we do other assessments, when they come back and say, hey, we need this dump truck, we'll pull those from that. So it'll stay safeguarded for those types of purposes.
I just want to let the council know also, I'm working on a plan for us that's going to put us out like 5 years. So we're going to have like a 5-year replacement plan. So we're going to have a list of what vehicles we have now, and we're going to have the mileages and when we should be looking at, what year we should be looking at replacing those vehicles. So that's something I'm trying to get implemented and get put together now, and we'll have that for everybody.
Great.
That was my next question is, I see you guys running around all the time. The guys are always hustling and doing a great job, and a lot of the vehicles are older. So how many other vehicles are pretty close to being at this point that we need to get rid of and bring in?
We've got a few that are aging out. I think the oldest truck we have in the fleet right now is like a 96 dump truck. And we're going to be looking at getting those phased out.
Are those the dump trucks you were talking about that don't meet the
Yes,
California?
that's one.
So there's no retrofitting for those for the exhaust and California compliance
Not that
stuff?
old.
Not that old, yeah.
The one he's referring to, we have 3. We have 2 Chevys that are they're like 05 and an
07.
An 07.
Yeah.
Those are gonna be cycled out because they're not tier 4.
Yeah.
Not yet, but they're on the list.
They're on the way.
The one that we're talking about right now, the 96, it has 35,000 miles on it all. But it's a diesel motor and it's 96, I'm sure it's a tier 1 maybe, if that.
Yeah. So anything that we can keep, Jared, that we can retrofit or anything like that, I've looked into the cost of the retrofitting. It's outrageous.
Yeah, it's not.
It's the cost of retrofitting versus replacing, you're halfway there,
Yeah.
if not 3/4 of the way there.
That's what I was getting at. Like, you guys, they seem like they've hit their limit. You guys
Yeah, we're getting.
done what you can with them.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, guys. Any other questions? All right, this is an action item.
I motion to approve item 11.2.
I'll second that.
First and a second, roll call, please.
Councilmember Gilbert,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Patassi,
Yes.
Councilmember Kettering,
Yes.
and Mayor Barrios.
Yes, this item passes 5-0. Thank you, Colleen. All right, item 12.1.
Mayor and council, annually, we bring to you the recognized obligation payment schedule. In 2011, the state of California decided that to dissolve all of the redevelopment agencies. At that point in time, the Governor Brown, who had been mayor of Oakland, knew how he had stripped the money from the redevelopment agency, and so he decided that he wanted the money up at the state level. And so he dissolved all of the redevelopment agencies. At that point in time, redevelopment agencies could no longer perform any services. It began the process of winding down the redevelopment agencies and basically paying off the debt. And so we are working through that process. The bonds on the redevelopment agency will pay off in June of 2036. So the successor agency, which is the winding entity, will continue through that time, and annually we come before you, provide you the schedule that we are required to put together for the annual schedule. Then it goes to the county joint oversight board, and then it's submitted to the state of California by February 1st. And so what you have attached is the recognized obligation payment schedule. This is tax increment money. Tax increments were when the redevelopment agency was established. The values were frozen for all of the taxing entities, and then any increase in property values were used for the redevelopment agencies. And as we're going through and we're paying off these, a portion of that, the difference is now distributed to the various entities. The city's general fund this last year received about 400,000 of that, and so that's what we have here is that schedule. So if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer.
All right, any questions from the public for Albert? Any questions from council?
And if you just want to spend an exciting half hour, you can see the charts on page 71 through 74 of tonight's packet.
Yeah.
All right, any questions? All right, this is an action item.
Motion to approve 12.1.
I second the motion to approve 12.1.
First and a second, roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Smith,
I mean, we can go over those pages if you want to, Albert. It's like, yes.
Councilmember Gilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Patassi,
Yes.
Councilmember Kettering,
Yes.
and Mayor Barrios.
Yes, this passes 5-0. Thank you, Colleen. All right, city manager's report. Any questions on that?
Yeah, no, Mayor, just a reminder, we have our department reports in the packet. I'd be happy to answer any questions about those if there are any, but I have nothing further to add.
All right. City Council 14.1, I'd like to ask Mayor Pro Tem Christopher Smith to keep on for the next year. I want to thank you for all that you do, and you're always there in the community helping, and I just appreciate you.
Thank you. I will keep on keeping on with the approval of the council.
All
Thank
right,
you.
so this is an action item.
I motion to approve 14.1.
I'll second that.
We have a first and a second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Gilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Kettering,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Patassi,
No.
and Mayor Barrios.
Yes, this item passes 4-1. Thank you, Colleen. All right, item 14.2, city council member local appointments. So I went ahead and went through those and made adjustments from Councilmember Fred Smith and Bob Amaral. And so are there any questions on anything? If not, this is an action item.
Motion to approve the board appointments, 14.2.
I second that motion to 14.2.
First and a second.
Mayor Pro Tem Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Gilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Patassi,
Yes.
Councilmember Kettering,
Yes.
and Mayor Barrios.
Yes, this item passes 5-0. Colleen will also get you guys set up if you,
I will, at your orientations this week, you'll get a list.
yeah. All right, so anything from council?
I just want to say, as far as those appointments go, print out the last 2 pages of the packet, 99 and 100, list all of our boards that we're on. And that's it. Merry Christmas to everybody.
I just want to thank Oakdale Enrichment Society and A Small Town Christmas for bringing holiday joy to our city. You've added such a magical touch to our city, and it's such a free and awesome experience for families, for all backgrounds to come and experience. So thank you so much.
Thank you. It's definitely a big event.
Yes.
And a lot of players in that, a lot of teamwork, that's for sure. Thank you. I
My
do wanna
family
thank-
really enjoyed it. The boys loved driving around town and having all the extra, like on the way to the gym today, they saw Santa and the reindeer at the OID and all the other places where we've always had a good Christmas feel in town, but these last few, I mean, rock and roll, you guys did a great job, all of the volunteers and people involved.
Thank you.
My
I will
family
pass on the
definitely
word.
enjoyed it.
Thank you. And it was nice, us riding together on the float, brought a little snow to Oakdale, little music, a little snow, a really, really great time.
That was a huge turnout.
Yes,
So good,
the biggest turnout ever.
good on you guys.
Yes,
Did
and I
all
want to
that.
thank the police department for being there for us. And we can only do better next year, right, Chief?
More fireworks.
But you guys did, not on your part, our part, yeah.
More fireworks on our float.
Yes, yes, yes.
And one last time, this guy right here is retiring.
Yep, Tim Tejan.
Thank you, Tim.
Chief Tejan. Yes, I just want to thank everybody for joining us in the Small Town Christmas festivities, from the lighting of the Christmas tree, the parade, very first Christmas concert. Thank Tammy for putting on the downtown Oakdale, Tracy with Mama's Closet for First Street, our city that stepped up, and Jeff Gravel, your team, Chief, Brian, just everybody that steps up to put that together to make sure that we're all safe. So I want to say thank you for that, and I want to say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. We will see you Monday, January 6th, right here at the Oakdale City Council Chamber, 7 p.m. Meeting adjourned.